Never mind.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ming from Shared Universe Podcast Studio, and I am joined by a very special friend of mine, Sasha Maria from the Local Fix Social Distance Supper Club. This is part of a very informal series that we launched, and where we talk to our friends and supporters and anyone doing anything cool. And a lot of my friends, a lot of people out there have stepped up during this crazy time, and they're doing amazing things that help other people out, help out businesses, and this, this I love, my friend. So Sasha Marie, you may have seen a lot of our live streams. She's a podcaster. She has her own business. She supports crowd therapy. You may have seen her on the Just Chilling podcast with Paul and Caitlin. You may have just seen her live like an hour ago, podcasting live on the Local Fix Social Distance Supper Club Facebook group. But you're doing something pretty amazing. So hello, how are you?
Hi, good. Hanging in there. How about you?
It's I'm doing good. And part of the reason I was doing this is just to make sure all my friends are alive and well, and eating and sleeping and surviving. And you look like you're doing all of that well. And I imagine you're working out and moving around and just kicking ass in general. So you've started something really cool. I know the restaurant industry, especially around here, totally decimated. They're suffering. No one, without anyone being able to go in, that's pretty much all their business. I know a lot of them are doing takeout. A lot of them are doing curbside delivery. A lot of them are subscribed to delivery service, but it's not the same. We love eating. We love going to restaurants. We've talked about this many times, and it stinks that's all kind of gone. And a lot of people are posting and saying, "Hey, go order out, take out." You're doing something even more unique though, which I love. You and our friend Will Grundman, and I think there may be some other people involved, have started the Local Fix Social Distance Supper Club, in which I know you have an official description, which is banding together to help guide local restaurants through this unprecedented time. But what I really love, this is more of a thing where you highlight a restaurant every day, and you've kind of taken on the flash mob concept, where you'll post a special or a restaurant, and you're encouraging everyone to take advantage of it. I call it order bombing. I don't know if anyone's coined a phrase.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. Exactly. Yeah, I saw it come up in, in another city like down south, and apparently social supper clubs have blown up, like with everything going on. Like exactly like what you said, there's just so many different restaurants that are either closing their doors or opening their doors, and we want them to thrive, right? That's what makes the world go round. We want to eat out. Everyone's sick and tired of cooking and finding something to eat. So we just figured, hey, this is a great way where there's no risk of having to go out. There's not much logistics. It was just reaching out to different restaurants and whatnot. So initially, yes, it started as something where we wanted to feature a restaurant, and they'd come out with a specific menu with a few items, and then everyone could go and order from them and support them. And then they'd be able to prepare ahead of time for inventory and staffing purposes, kind of like the catering sort of model, right? But yeah, that's kind of how it started. We're like, oh, we'll do this. But I think with everything going on, it's just moving so quickly. It changes on the daily. So, a lot of restaurants have now migrated to okay, let's scale down the menu in general, and then take it to a catering model. And so we're just trying to, there are some restaurants now that have come back and are creating menus specifically for the supper club, which is awesome. So, so yeah, we're starting with that and then kind of branching out.
That's amazing. And I just think logistically that helps them out. And then just raw materials and produce and, sourcing materials,
Yeah.
scale down the menu to, just a few items rather than the whole menu. And then if you can kind of get an idea of how many people are going to come in and order it per day, especially now that cuts down on waste, that cuts down on costs, and it helps them out too. And in the end, I think it helps them put out a better product as well.
Totally.
Like, on a couple of items. What was the genesis of all this? I know you just mentioned you saw this. I guess there's a group down south also doing this. Was that your inspiration?
Yeah, I think so. Stepping back a little bit, you and I you helped me promote Rocktoberfest back, in October.
I love it. You can't stop helping people, which is what I love about you. I mean, Lord knows we're both very busy, but you're able to carve out some time out of your day to help out other people and in greater causes for sure.
Yeah, thank you. It's a big passion. I like doing it. I grew up doing that, and so, we took Rocktoberfest, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a music and beer festival for the benefit of a nonprofit. Last year we did it for a Neeby feed, and I did that, with Will Grunman of Twin Lights Brewing, and that was really successful. There you go. They just launched their lager, and then they have I think they
Double Vision IPA.
Yeah, they did Double Vision IPA yesterday, I believe. So, so if you haven't, go grab their beer at the local spot. You can find it on their Instagram. But anyway, that event was very successful, and we said, we want to take kind of this into another level and create a foundation and do this on a kind of a bigger scale. So it's funny, through doing Rocktoberfest, one of your podcasters, Matt Magnifico of Ready Set Review, had reached out, not knowing that we kind of knew each other from something else, and we were on his podcast. He ended up loving Oktoberfest. We actually reached back out to him and said, "Hey, would you want to be part of this nonprofit foundation idea? I know it's really out there. Who do you know?" And so we kind of just formed a team, and now there's 7 of us who came together, who we're just passionate about helping local businesses and charities. And we were kind of scratching our head, we wanted to do something else during this time, in April, May, but then, impact hits. So we said, you know what, all the more reason to do what we can. Let's just try. A lot of us came from, I personally did not, but, a lot of them have come from the restaurant background or business background. Let's support other businesses in any small way we can. So that's just kind of how it came about.
Is this something you were starting even before all of this?
Yeah. So we, not necessarily the supper club idea, but the Local Fix Foundation. So is the foundation that we created, but it was honestly, the name was inspired when we were trying to think of, when we came across the supper club sort of idea, and we're like, what can we call this? What can we call this? And then someone said, what about Local Fix? And I said, that's actually a kind of a really cool name. And we stuck with it to call it for our foundation. So the foundation itself, again, is to help connect charities and businesses to reach the communities that they want, that they support. And so really that can happen on a number of levels, right. But inspired by Rocktoberfest, we were essentially the event planners for helping charities connect with the small businesses. Right now, we can't really do that, but we will. And, that's what we're aspiring to get to. But in the interim, we said, you know what, let's start this supper club idea. We saw it, be very successful in other cities, and it is successful in other cities. And that's just why we decided to call it Local Fix Supper Club. So it's our first project, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, but which was birthed from a previous project.
Yeah.
That you learned what worked and what didn't, and you're putting it forward for another project.
Yeah,
and it'll continue to grow from there. And I love. Meanwhile, you just kind of shifted gears into helping out. Once all this hit, you're like, well, okay, we can put all of our resources, all of our connections, all of our knowledge into helping local restaurants. And and then when this is all over, that can all spread out to the rest of the community.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
that's really amazing. When did when did you come up with the idea to shift into helping out restaurants? How long was that?
Probably when this all started, and
About 6 months
I
ago.
think probably honestly when we were all just sitting around like after 2 weeks, it's just pretty sad. Like okay, like we don't want to order from someplace, and you go
Right.
in Seamless, you go in Grubhub, and you're like, wait a minute, this place is closed. I thought it was open, and then you just don't know,
Yeah.
right? Because these are small businesses, and they can't staff at the amount that they have been. And so even if their website says something, maybe they haven't gotten around to it. And I understand that as a business owner,
Yeah.
like thinking of updating all your social media, your website, thinking about who's going to open, thinking about inventory, it's a lot, right? So just doing our best that's kind of where it came from. It's like, let's streamline a place where you can find what's open in the area. So a lot of us are based in the Jersey Shore, so we started with Monmouth and Ocean County. So that's kind of what we're going off of. And as much as possible, people are like, "Oh, have you heard of so and so?" I'm like, "No, but please send it. Please
Yeah.
send it our way. We'll promote anyone." Like I've had someone ask about, local chefs, people who don't have a mom and a brick and mortar.
Right.
So happy to promote. They we want to make sure people thrive.
Yeah, you're right. When they announced shutdown, non-essential business, I didn't know which
Yeah.
restaurants were open or not.
Yeah.
I would check their Facebook pages to see if they were posting anything, and if not, I would call them maybe and see if they were open. And I know they had to scramble a lot of the hour. They had to cut down their hours.
Right.
And not only that, now on their side, it's very unpredictable. You don't know how many people are going to order what. You don't know what business is going to be like that day. It's so unpredictable. And I know a lot of our favorite restaurants, our favorite kind of independent restaurants, have been shut down this whole time. A lot of them are just recently reopening
Yeah.
now, which is crazy. But I think logistically they had to figure out how they were going to do it without losing money, and while at the same time trying to pay their rent and expenses, and maybe and then find out how many people they could continue to staff.
Yeah.
I imagine it's been really difficult. Which is why I love this. This really makes things a lot easier on them. Plus, for us who just want to eat great food, um, it really helps us out as well. How many restaurants do you have on board right now?
Honestly, we have I don't even know how many we have. We have a
I know
number
it's
that
growing. I know it's been changing a ton. And
yeah, we have some that are coming out with like specific venues. We technically today is like our day to go live. We started
oh,
posting
cool. So
in
it's really,
advance.
really today. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just pretty cool. We have some in Ocean County. I think PJ's Place is one of them that posted. There's a few more that are coming in that I haven't even gotten to because I've just been going live on other
Right.
things. But we're also in the interim because it's you said you would try and call places, right?
Yep.
And then sometimes you won't even get anyone. But interestingly enough, that doesn't necessarily mean they're even closed. Like I tried calling, where did I try calling the other day? Cardinal. They're so busy.
Yeah, they
They're
can't. They don't have time.
they can't even, and that's a great problem to have, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. They actually responded on Instagram, and I went to see them, and they were just so busy. And so you don't know what's open. I think most places are trying to be good on social media now.
Yeah.
And so what we've kind of migrated to is trying to focus on those restaurants that are promoting a sort of a smaller menu to help push there, or if they're going to open, they're reopening now. Like for example, Tallulah's in Asbury Park, they just opened I think yesterday, and so they were closed this whole time. And so we want to highlight that. So it's been a little bit of a challenge. I think if we had maybe started this in the beginning, even then though, I think everyone's kind of just running around with their heads off. It's just now we're just trying to help promote different menus from all different towns along the Jersey Shore, and trying to spread it out. So there's like one one featured restaurant per town a
Right.
day type of thing, you know, unless someone came out with a menu specific for us, then we'll promote them for that day. So that's what we've migrated to. And, you know, we're just happy to help.
That's awesome. And I sorely miss Tallulah's. I think it's the best pizza on
It's so
where
good.
we're at for sure. And
Yeah.
I saw you highlighted C'est La Vie and Red Bank. They're doing do-it-yourself ice cream sundae kits,
Yeah.
which is pretty much what I've been eating the last 6 weeks is ice cream. I've been eating a lot of ice cream, so I definitely be heading over there. And then Barrio Castero is one of your highlighted restaurants as well, which I'm a huge fan of. Um,
Yeah.
Anthony over there, the general manager, has always treated me very well.
Yes. He's such a sweetheart. Yeah. Barrio is doing, Barrio and Loteria, they're both doing something for Cinco de Mayo.
That's what I was
So
going to ask. There events coming up, and Cinco de Mayo being one of them. And
yeah,
traditionally for both of those restaurants, any Hispanic themed any Hispanic restaurants, I was a huge day for them. And now, it's
yeah,
unfortunately it's not going to be. So
yeah,
it's good to see they're doing whatever they can to keep it going. And
yeah. I
yeah,
think like Barrio has a Barrio is doing something with Lalo, and they're doing like a cocktail class
oh man,
for
okay, yeah, yeah.
Cinco de Mayo, which is pretty cool. And then so I think we made that on our Instagram story, and then Bond Street Bar, which is of course connected to Loteria, has I think buckets. They're like kits that they're assembling for Cinco de Mayo, which I also just posted. So you can find a way, prep for Cinco de Mayo through these local places. Everyone's getting very creative, and I actually really love it. Like Butcher's Block, you can pick they have like their meat that you can pick up and
Pick up
put together.
like $100 worth of meat, and
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I saw their fun pack, and yeah, you're right. The level of ingenuity and creativity
Yeah,
to keep things going has been unmatched, especially in this area. I feel. I mean, I know I'm a little biased, but and then it's going to take more than a virus to keep a lot of us from boozing it up, from drinking and eating great food. It just nothing stops that. So uh,
yeah, totally.
yeah, that's amazing. If there's a local restaurant out there that wants to get on board, how can they get involved?
Yeah, they can message us on either Instagram at NJ Local Fix, or on Facebook. We also do have like njlocalfix@gmail. They can just send us email there too if they want to be featured. We're happy to help out whoever, as much as we can. So there is a smaller team of us, so we're trying to do it along with our
And this is a voluntary effort, and it's
yeah. So we're trying as much as possible to do it, but as Ming said, this is one project that came from another project that came from another project. So we're trying to do as much as we can with the time that we have.
That's amazing. And I mean, I'm seeing that Mr. Pizza Slices on here, so I see it's actually kind of a is it like a curated list? Do you I don't know if there's like a priority or anything, but are you are you highlighting restaurants that is there an order that you're doing them in? Is it like first come first serve? Are you
Yeah, so it usually starts with people that we've spoken to or have like a more warm connection to,
right?
because that's kind of how like the industry works. If you see
Sure.
one, they'll keep doing it. But I think it also starts with where we are personally. We're all kind of spread out.
Right. And all right. We'll see if you come back. But oh, there you go.
Sorry.
No problem. You just said we're all kind of spread out.
Oh yeah, so we're all spread out, and we kind of just go off of the places that we love and the local spots, and
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point. When before we were forced to stay at home, we went out a lot. If you were out, if I was in town on a Friday or Saturday night, I would be in Asbury. I would be over at like the Yacht Club or Langosta, or I'd be on Cookman. So we formed a lot of personal relationships with a lot of these bars and restaurants, and yeah, I mean, we definitely want. I think the goal is to one, help them survive, and then two, make sure they're still here when this is all over.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because if you think about it, it's sad. You don't want it to see it go away, but we got to do what we can with what resources we have, right, and give back as much as possible. So,
Right.
but yeah,
That's awesome. Well, I applaud your efforts always. I mean, you're always helping. You're always helping somebody out, and but this is something near and dear to my heart. If you know anything about me, I'm usually eating something or drinking something. And
yeah, no, and thank you for reaching out and helping promote this,
oh
and
yeah,
I
of
would support
course, of course. I mean, well, the other thing missing from all of that, from going out to eat or going out to a bar, is the social aspect. We're not
Yes.
allowed to be around each other, and I mean, believe me, I was out right until the last second where they said we couldn't be out anymore. I think
Pushing the limit, huh?
I was over. I was dancing with over at a DJ Foggy Notion DJ set over at the Asbury Park Yacht Club, like the Saturday night before everything shut down. So
That's funny.
yeah, I was trying, and I want to. I really want to support all these places, and I will. I mean, I'm doing all I can. I mean, I'm trying to support all my friends with local businesses for sure, and while at the same time trying to stay afloat myself. But I really want them to survive. I love what they do. The people in the restaurant and service industry are bar none some of the hardest working people out there for sure. And
Oh, for sure. And I feel like there, in a way, there are we have like the healthcare heroes, and they're like also heroes at
yeah,
another level.
you got to eat for sure. You got to eat to do a great job. So
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
where can we find you? I know I have it down here, but if you're listening to an audio version, on Instagram it's NJ Local Fix,
Mhm.
and then on Facebook, just search up the group Local Fix Supper Club, and
Yep.
you can see which restaurants are highlighted or what's going on that day and how you can support. And yeah, I really applaud you for doing this. I love it. I love that. I really love that you're just helping people out. So I want to give you a shout out as well. So
Thank you so much, Ming. And as always, thanks for the support. We really appreciate
always,
it. It's awesome.
always.
And
Is there anything I missed?
I don't think so. Just
I did
thank you.
I did my homework.
You think you did. Yeah. Thank you so much. Everyone stay well and support your local restaurants and businesses. And we hope to see you soon. Party soon.
Yeah, very soon, sooner rather than later. So awesome, Sasha.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. I
Thank you
will.
so much.
We will be at a restaurant soon, living it up.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
thank you so
Thanks so
much.
much, Ming. Take care.